Okay guys, welcome back. This is going to be game 2 of Idra versus Xia0zl, and this time it's going to be played on Return of the King. And Return of the King is actually 60% favored for Terrans, so we'll see if Xia0zl can overcome the odds and hopefully turn this around and make this match a little bit more exciting, because he got thoroughly whomped on by Idra in the last game. So I'm going to go ahead and start this game. Countdown: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, and let's get going. By the way, guys, Return of the King is a 4-player map, and I know I've said this countless times, but it's a very interesting map. It's kind of like the center of the map is the highest point, and then the land gets lower and lower as you approach the outside perimeters of the map. So both players are going to be fighting for the high ground, I would expect, if the game ends up going to the late game. A lot of interesting macro play we do see on Return of the King sometimes. So anyways, without further ado, Idra is the Red Terran at the top right-hand position. And meanwhile, Xia0zl is the top left-hand position. Now, this isn't God's Garden. You don't get that double expansion again. So hopefully we won't see Xia0zl getting a little greedy and go for all those expansions and really forgetting to get those lurkers that he could have really needed. He really kind of skipped the lurker tech, and his Mutalisk harass really failed at the mid game, and that's why Idra was just able to push out and thoroughly own him so easily. If Xia0zl really had some lurkers, or if he had done a little better with his Mutalisk harassed, he would have been able to keep Idra back in his base. And combine that with the fact that Idra went with that early Science Vessel, there wasn't really much Xia0zl could do. So we'll see if Xia0zl can put up a better fight this game. I'm hoping he does. And we do see that he's scouting in the wrong position, so that's a little bit of a bad luck misfortune for him. But it's not too big of a deal, just a little bit of a setback. And in case you guys don't know the map, which I've already explained already, I'll show it to you guys. This is the ramp, and this is the hill right here. I like to call it the hill on King of the Hill, highest point on the map. And then it continues to go down to this lower ground, but it's not quite the lowest, because it goes down to this, which is the lowest ground. And then, of course, the expansions are on the little bit of a higher terrain. But it is interesting, and we do see a mineral only in each player's base as well. Not too much minerals here, and it's covered by one mineral stack. By the way, Xia0zl is opting to go for that 12 hatch again, so we'll see if he can make better use of his strategy and his opening build order this game. One thing is, both players, whoever wins this game, goes on to the final match and will be playing the winner of Semifinal B, which I will also be casting. Semifinal B will be between Starleague and... if I say this, I'll probably ruin the games before this, but that means you guys should probably cover your ears and don't watch this game. Anyways, it's going to be between Starleague and Xia0zl. Xia0zl did win his match against Advocate, actually. It was a pretty good set of matches, and I casted it, but unfortunately I have some recording issues, so I haven't uploaded it yet, but I'll try to upload it when I can. So that finals match, Starleague and Xia0zl, whoever wins that matchup, will play the winner of this matchup, and that's going to be this Saturday, guys. So make sure to go to SC2GG.com, check that out, and hopefully we'll see you guys there. It's going to be an exciting, awesome matchup, and it's going to be casted by one of the greatest casters of all time, Diggity. And I really look up to that guy. He's a really good commentator, and I hopefully you guys tune in for that matchup. Anyways, we do see that now I forgot this guy's name, Xia0zl. Xia0zl is expanding to his natural expansion. Meanwhile, Idra is going to move in with the scout, going to spot the opening 12 hatch, so we'll see if he's going to get that early command center. Yes, he will get that early command center. Going to try to even up the odds macro-wise. And we saw earlier that Idra was able to keep his SCV alive for quite a long time inside of Xia0zl's base. And one thing that came out of that was he was able to see that early fast triple expansion, as well as all the tech that Xia0zl was trying to go for, and that gave Idra a pretty good advantage in this game. We'll see this game, however, if Xia0zl is going to be able to deny that scout. It's going to be important that he does after the layer comes up, because he doesn't want Idra to know what tech he's going for, because really Zerg player has two options. He can go for lurkers, or he can go for Mutalisks, and he doesn't want the Terran player to know. So he's going to try to eliminate this scout as quickly as he can. However, these two lings, actually 5 lings, are pushing out towards the front of the base. So we'll see what he's deciding to go with, do with those lings, Xia0zl. And yeah, we do see that Idra is still building up that natural expansion, and the initial scouting ling here is going to be taken out. Idra, of course, doesn't want any Lings to come inside his base. And meanwhile, he is going to go for that standard M&M build once again. What worked once before should work the second time. Don't fix it if it ain't broke, right? But meanwhile, it looks like Xia0zl was able to take out that initial scouting SCV and is now pushing out with quite a lot of Zerglings. Looks like a full control group, but not going to be able to break this ramp that Idra has held right here. Quite a bit of Lings on that high ground. Of course, that's a 40% miss rate for the Lings, and that's not good for Lings trying to attack, especially since they're melee. Meanwhile, once again, wow, Xia0zl going for that third expansion. Only off of his initial Ling harass right here, and I wouldn't even call it a harass. So looks like Xia0zl is going to be going for that third expansion once again, somewhat early, not too early actually. But a critical point in ZVT is if the Zerg player loses his expansion to the Terran player. If Idra can take out that third expansion, usually that spells death for the Zerg player, because they're just not going to be able to keep up macro-wise. And we'll see what's going to happen, because basically this expansion is very, very far away from the expansion for Xia0zl is very far away from his main base, so it's going to be hard for him to defend it. And if Idra's going to be able to take out this expansion right here, then Xia0zl could be in a lot of trouble. We'll see what's going to happen though. He is going for Spire, so we're looking into Mutalisk right now, and it's not going to be 3 hatch, it's going to be 2 hatch Mutalisk because that third hatchery isn't quite up yet. Meanwhile though, Xia0zl does keep Idra contained in the back of his base, and this is looking a lot more standard than the other game. Of course, this game, Idra not going to be able to have the time to go for that early fact and the very fast starport like he did last game. Looking like it's going to be a very normal 2 hatcheries Mutalisk coming in, and it's going to be very important right now for Xia0zl to do a lot of damage with this Mutalisk harass, because if he doesn't, then he could find himself significantly behind when Idra pushes out with his Medic Marine force. So he's trying to find an opening right now. He's pushing up to the north towards the main base of Idra, and he's pushing up, but Idra spots it. Idra's coming in with stimmed Marines right now. No missile turrets in the back of Idra's base, however, and these Mutalisks are going to be able to move towards the backside. Go to that mineral only natural only to find out there's nothing there. So meanwhile, Idra doing a pretty good job here, keeping. Oh, might take out the Overlord. No, Xia0zl comes in, picks off a Marine. Meanwhile, and the Overlord does go down. A little bit of a loss for Xia0zl. Idra here, once he gets enough Medic and Marine, usually it's about 2 control groups, full control groups, he will push out, and then that's going to put Xia0zl on the defensive back foot, and we'll see, he's going to have to waste some minerals, some drones on those sunken colonies. That's usually what we see in a standard ZVT game. So we'll see what's going to happen this game. Can Xia0zl inflict some more damage with these Mutalisks? He really, really needs to right now. And the cost that he's invested into these Mutalisks, it's like what at this point, like 800 minerals, 800 gas, is not paying off for him so far. He hasn't done enough damage. All he's done so far is serve to delay Idra's push with his Medic Marine. So he's once again trying to push towards the back of the base. SCVs here are going to keep this missile turret repaired. A lot of SCVs actually, and that's going to repel Xia0zl's Mutalisk back to the main base. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Xia0zl committing to more Mutalisk here. You guys can see his eggs continuing to morph Mutalisk. He's getting a little feisty with his Lings as well, but I don't think he's going to want to push out against those fire bats on that top ramp right there. The third expansion not getting mined out. Meanwhile, Lings are pushing into the natural expansion of Idra. Gonna take out these missile turrets critically. Now there's no air defense. Only 1 missile turret remains. The Lings might actually take this one out too. Mutalisk trying to come in. They do take out the missile turret. Now the south side of Idra's natural expansion is exposed, so he has to pull all of his Medic and Marine to the south side. But oh my god, so many Mutalisks for Xia0zl going down there. And that's gotta be a hit to his confidence now. Now he doesn't have the confidence he needs to push in. But he is actually pushing in balls right now, losing another Mutalisk. Wow. So Xia0zl there taking a lot of Mutalisk damage, but meanwhile successfully he was able to take out a lot of the defense, and that's going to keep Idra in his main base with this huge group of Medic and Marine force for that much longer. Maybe not that much longer actually. Now he is pushing out. He feels like he's got enough troops, and he feels like he's got enough reinforcements to take care of these Medic and Marine. But these Mutalisk should be able to make use of this high ground, this ridge, to kill off these Medic and Marine. This just back and forth right now, guys. Missile turret taking a shot on the Mutalisk as well. If these Mutalisks can use this area of terrain right here, they can effectively kill Medic and